So welcome back to my Art with Linda, our foundations. We're using these things that we're learning step by step so that you become extremely confident in how you do your artwork. And remember how you do your artwork, because it's how you see it. It's how your mind tells your hands to work. And again, not machines, not copiers. These are our tools right here. All our senses, our eyes, our ears, our hands, maybe not our taste so much, but our smell even. So this gives you an easier way to go about it. It's like you need to relax and get ready, and then you've learned about lines, and we're going into shapes today so that you can turn that into an entire piece of artwork. So what we're going to go through today is pure contour. I stumble on my contour word, so bear with me, please. So the outer edge of an object is your contour line. Nothing inside, no details, nothing that shows you anything except for the outer edge. It's how you've been drawing since you were little. When you're very little, you know, you drew a house, you just drew a square and a triangle, right? That's pretty much a contour line. When you draw a person, you didn't draw legs with kneecaps and feet with toes. You drew a contour drawing. So the contour drawings will create the size and the shape, which will give you an absolute form that is balanced. If it's not the right size on one end and the other, it won't be balanced. But you'll see that and you can correct it the next time, because it's not a mistake. It's that process of learning. So no designs, no details, using your geometric and organic shapes. I find that what I chose, most of the things are organic, but that just shows it to you. And sometimes you can use an inner line, which is to say, if I'm doing, say, this, we've got an ear. If I just drew that one inner line, you would see it. And I'm telling you, this is not a natural way to drawing, because I'm going to have you doing it while looking at your object and drawing, and not looking at your paper. I'm going to ask you to please close your eyes and try it, which is torturous. But if you use your finger and you have a starting point, you're going to find out that it's not that difficult. And it's kind of funny, too, when you look at it when you're done. It'll resemble or look like what you're trying to draw, but it won't be exactly. And feel free to look up and down when you're, doing a more serious contour drawing. So you got to let your hands be in control. Be in control by your eyesight. I kind of say it's like touching the object with your eyes, because your eyes will tell your hands what to do. And it's hard for us to imagine that. But once you do this, and if you look, I have all kinds of things that I can do contours. There'll be a list for you. There's figurines, stuffed animals, dinosaurs. I'm going to ask you to do your fruits first, or a vegetable, whichever you're comfortable with. There are seashells. I have another little treasure box here full of things that can be used, because you can do a little game with your family too. If everybody wants to sit around and do these quick contour lines, I'll explain it later when I demonstrate. So today is a day to relax. Use your outside. Touch that object before you use it, so that your hands can actually talk to your brain for once. And we'll have a picture of this. This is not the right object to do a contour line. It's so detailed. There's so many lines that it would take you forever. Start out simple. Work your way through. Giant grasshoppers, little kittens, whatever you choose. I want you to be comfortable with it. I want you to do it over and over again, please. I'll say that forever. It's practice, and that's what gets it. So let's get ready to dive into our contour drawing. So now that you've seen all of the different objects that you can use for our pure contour lines, I'd like to just start out with something simpler. Before we start, make sure you have your paper that's stapled so it's easy to move and flip over and use both sides. A couple of pencils, just in case I need to sharpen them. I have an eraser, but we're not going to use erasers if we can. I would really like you to try to do it and just let the form happen when you're drawing. Don't worry. Do this over and over again. In fact, these are some that my 5-year-old student did. A shoe, and that's my shoe. Then we did a shoe again. And after the shoe, we did scissors. Now these were drawing scissors with not looking at the paper. So these are pretty good for a 5-year-old, I have to say. And Miss Linda did her scissors. Let's find them. Mine kind of look like bows. This one I was looking. I put an L. This one here, and this one not looking. Not too bad. Closing your eyes and looking up in the air away from it. Sometimes that's easier if you can keep your eyes open but look away from it. We're going to try all those exercises. And then we did dinosaurs. And I think that for a little guy, he did really well. Mine was easier because I know that my eyes need to follow it, like my fingers are tracing over it. This is his first time. He actually thought one of his scissors looked like a squid. So I told him to make it into a squid. When you're doing something, if you get this idea, it pops in your head and you want to try doing something with what you're drawing, go for it. This is your learning process right now. All right, we'll put these away and we'll start on some new ones. Oh, of course, I've got to show you these. This is my alligator. This is my shark. Then I did my key. And somewhere, here we go. We have a fork. It almost looks like I traced it. I picked the wrong key. Look at all those little notchy things all over the place. I wish I would have picked a simpler one, but we've got to push ourselves sometimes. So what I'm going to do is flip this over and use this side of the paper. I talked about clothespins and figurines. Let's try a cat. I'm not going to do anything, and I've told you, touch it first. Feel that little slope right there in the tail. Position it to where you're comfortable with it. And I'm going to do it, and I'm going to take my time. Eyes open this time. I'm going to start with its nose. Up, and talk to yourself. Talk out loud, talk to yourself like I do. I'm famous for talking to myself. Up, we got the little ear there, and the bump of the head. Doesn't look like one yet, and it won't totally, because no details. We're just creating the shape of the outer object. Now, because it's a stuffed animal, it's not going to look just like up, down, up, its chest, and its nose. Looks like a cat enough. This is what you're doing, is you're training your brain to see this one object so that when it comes time to putting details in. Now, if I wanted to, I could put this other ear in there, or I could separate this just enough to where you know it's a critter. It's an animal. So that wasn't too hard. Now, Miss Linda's going to demonstrate what it's like to do it with your eyes closed. And if you feel like laughing, go for it, because it might look funny. I'm going to put my pencil down where I'm going to start. Keep my hand here so that I have some sort of balance. Okay, here we go. Nose up. I'm repeating it. Up, around. Got the ear. Back of the head. I've got my eyes closed. I haven't peeked. Slope down. Oh boy, this is where I might get into trouble, but I'm using what my eyes stored into my brain. And it had a big back leg. Up a little bit, down here. Let's hope that we match. This is the funny part. I know that the nose is up here because I got my finger there. Let's see. Hey, not too bad for my eyes closed. I'm pretty impressed. So there's another way to do it, is to look at the cat but not at the paper. I'm going to do that, and that'll be easier. I'm going to do it right over it, because when you overlap these, you're going to find out that they create their own kind of cool artwork as well. So there's the nose, the head, the ear. I'm not looking at my paper. I promise. Promise, promise, promise. All right. This is a lot easier than doing it without your eyes open. But it still challenges your mind sight. You know, this one's got a mustache, but both are cats. You can see it. All right, we'll move the cat. This is for my older students and for those who get really confident in their contour drawing. This is a shell, and you can see that there are so many little ups and downs and bumps that I need to take my time on this one. I won't even attempt to do this with my eyes closed, because I would have practiced enough to where I'm confident right now. There's all these little, just look at those. So it's extremely interesting, but I think I'll start at the wide part. And again, in and out, up and over, up. And I'm looking at my paper as well. It's going to look like a shell with no details, only the outline. That's what pure contour is. We'll go into a different kind of contour next class, but for right now, we need to train our mind and our hands and our eyes to work as a team. It's pretty much what the whole artistic process is. And like I said, our eyes and our minds all work different. So now, I said that you can put in some interior or inside lines to make sure that you know what the object is, because this looks like I dropped, I don't know, something down. But all it would take would be one more inside contour line to create that shell shape. So we've got animals, we've got shells, we've got keys. What else? Oh, try hole puncher. This will not look. Now I'm going to use my eraser here to hold it up so that I can see it better. I'm going to keep my eyes open again. This one I will be putting that interior line in. Otherwise it won't look like what it's supposed to be. So actually I'm going to start with that. Swoop up. It's got a little lip there on the end. It's got the actual puncher itself. And around and up. Now I'm going to keep my pencil on the paper. That makes for a really smooth. Now I'm going to go through this. It's going to look, I'm not laughing at myself. I'm just seeing and remembering how difficult this is for you students. It seems simple, but it's not. All right, now let's try it without looking at the paper. I'm not going to try this with. So I'm going to start up here this time. And again, try to keep your, I'm not looking at the paper, so try to keep your pencil flowing. I made that other one too big, so I think I'm going to do this. Not looking at the paper, even though my brain says look at the paper. Oh, this looks like some, they actually both look like dragon heads. And again, Miss Linda sees stuff in everything. So if I do something like that, chuckle along with me. Now that we've done this, there's a game that you can play. And I actually have my little timer here. And I actually have a human timer that will count to 20. And after 20 seconds, I'm going to move an object. So what I'm going to do first is set my objects up. This would be so easy to draw. Not doing that. So I'll do a fork, a key. I think I'll go big. I love the shape of this, and it's not a difficult one. So, you know, once you have your toys, let's get, this is my grandmother's. I love this. This is a figurine. If you have trophies at home that you've won, you could use those too. So I'm going to keep these. You won't be able to see them because in every 20 seconds, I am going to move it and use the same piece of paper. I'm going to overlap one over the other so that they each create. I'll keep them close so you see what I'm doing. Ooh, I might throw a dinosaur in there. Done with that. Okay, ready? I'm going to, in 20 seconds, and I'm looking at my paper in this. When I hear the bell, I've got to switch. Ooh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to do one interior line on this. I'm ready for the next one. I beat the clock. Key. No. All right. 1, 2, square up. And put this inside. Oh, I am beating the clock. See, I've done this before. Now, I'll make this big. Okay, let's see. I have to go down and over, up, in, out, up. And I'm going to do one interior line. Maybe we should do 10 seconds for Miss Linda. Let's try 10, my little helper. All right, fork. Up. This one might be harder because I want to keep them the same tip size. Uh-oh, that's it. Got to move on to my shark. Holy camole, turn my paper. Wasting time, Miss Linda. Start with the tail. And then we go around. And then the bottom jaw. And the big nose. Oh, I got all sure of myself. All right, let's try this. Oh, let's do it over here. Eyeballs, nose, mouth, leg, belly. Oh, I beat the clock. Yay! All right, dinosaur time. Dinosaur, dinosaur, dinosaur. Long tail, up, up, up. Took my pencil off the paper, but you're going to see that you're going to be doing that. It's got a little head for a dinosaur. You saw me kind of snitch on that. And one more. Let's do the screwdriver. This one, I should beat the clock because it's things. All right, so you can take your objects, get a little bucket like Miss Linda does, put things in it. I've got a wrench, I got my shell, I've got another type of clothespins. Miss Linda hangs her watch. I have clothespins. Dinosaurs, more shells, more dinosaurs, stuffed animals. You can fill it up, put it down, and with your family or your circle of friends that you've been with, you can play this game. Either you can use a timer or have one person be the ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding so that you each are pushing these and passing them to one to the other. And it gets quite chaotic and fun, and it is like a game. It reminds me of that game, Hot Potato. We've all played Hot Potato. So, again, practice this because next week we're going to be using this technique, but changing them into a three-dimensional form. So I look forward to it, and thanks for learning with me today. So now that we know what pure contour line is, I want you to sit down, relax, get your objects, do your drawings. This is going to make it so much easier to draw almost anything that you see. So please don't be afraid. Do it over and over again. Draw one over the other and see how unusual it creates some other piece of artwork. And again, I'll always ask you to try and teach someone else this. We all need to stick together, think about other people and how we can make life better for them. So thank you, and I'll see you next class.